Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. We're never going to get those 5 wins in a row that I've been asking for all season, right? It doesn't look like you're going to get that this season. Another draw. We've had a lot of those days. So is it like 11 draws now? And the crazy thing about those games is like I think 6 or 7 of those games we've scored fast. Like we've been ahead in both games against Brighton. We've been ahead against obviously today against Everton. We've been ahead against Man City, against Liverpool. We've been ahead a lot of times, and you've ended up drawing those games. Different reasons. Defensively, you still have the best defense in the league, but you've had a few, shaky moments throughout the season. And obviously, the main thing is us never really scoring the second goal and the third goal to kill off games. It's always 1-0 for most of the game, and then we end up conceding. And those penalties as well we've been giving away. It didn't look like a penalty, but they got a penalty or whatever. I think the referee was horrible today, by the way. So, like, he gave a free kick when Trossard didn't even catch the guy at the end of the game. Like, I don't even understand what that is all about. I don't know if it was all. I just don't know. Whatever. But yeah, another draw this time against Everton. And again, it's the same opponents. I'm really hoping that next one we're able to sort this out because it's always the same guys. Everton, we draw. West Ham, we beat them at their place. They beat us at our place. Aston Villa, we draw points against them somehow. And obviously, Fulham as well, we always draw points against them somehow. So those 4 teams that we're never able to do a double over in a season, that is something that we need to do next season. These teams, because against the top teams, we are very good. Like, we always never lose to Chelsea. We never lose to Man City. We never lose to Man United, never lose to Chelsea, all these teams. But when it comes to these middle teams, Fulham, Aston Villa, West Ham, and Everton, we never pick up 6 points against them in a season. And those are the differences, If you beat Everton in both games and you beat West Ham at home and you beat Fulham, right now you'd have been like three points behind Liverpool. That's how close it would have been. But if you don't beat these teams, you're not going to be anywhere near the title. So, to be honest, my focus, as I said in the preview, was on Real Madrid game. I said we were going to win 2-1, but you said that is the hard prediction. I also said in that preview that this is pointing out to be a 1-1 draw. So clear because of how many games we've drawn, how many games Everton have drawn, the fact that they drew us at our place, the fact that we are going to have a Champions League game on Tuesday. This is going to point out to be a draw. Like for me, I was actually happy today to rest Saliba. I wanted us to rest Timber completely. I wanted us to, have Saka on the bench, have Martinelli on the bench. Odegaard was even rested today, but we actually started Saliba. For me, I would have rested even 7 players, to be honest. We're not going to go anywhere. I think we're still going to finish second. I don't think Nottingham are going to catch up with us. Luckily, we still have those fixtures against Ipswich and Southampton. I think we're going to win those, and then you have to try and win, at least one of the home games, and I think we'll be okay. But focus has to be in the Champions League, on the Champions League. And today's game was the worst game to play before Real Madrid. Like the number of times Merino was being tackled and, hit all over the place. Trossard, he was being fouled all over the place the whole game. Merino, like blood dripping from his head, and before the game he had like a groin injury. It's terrible. Like I wouldn't have wanted this. If I had the choice, I would have postponed this game before the Real Madrid game. Like just focus on the Real Madrid game, or give a point to Everton. Let's take a point and let's focus on the Real Madrid game. That is where the focus is. But the squad that we went for today, I didn't expect Sterling to start. He did start, and then we went to Trossard up front. That was surprising as well. And then Nwaneri on the right, and then in midfield we had Jorginho, I had him as well. I wanted Partey to be rested, and then he went with I went with Rice and Odegaard. I went with Rice and Merino in midfield as the attacking midfielders, and then defensively, Saliba, Ben White is back. Thankfully, he was very shaky though for most of the game, and then Lewis Kelly as well, and also Kivia. I think Kivia had a decent game. I think he's the one who let the ball bounce, I think, but whatever. I think he had a better game than expected him to have, or better game than most people expected him to have. And then goalkeeper Raya, obviously. So again, looking at that lineup, I didn't expect us to go out there and win 2-0, 3-0, even if we had our first team players. I was just hoping that can we get a goal and, try and get a 1-0 or 2-1 and get out of here. And once again, I've said we need to find a way to beat these teams next season, the Evertons and the Aston Villas. Another thing we need to do is we need to find a way to create good chances, even though teams are parking the bus against us and all that. Because that first half again, we were dominant. Like, it never looked like Everton were going to score a goal. Like, it was literally like one team on that pitch. Like, there's a point where in the 22nd minute, it was 83% possession Arsenal. I think Everton didn't have any shots, but the problem is with all that possession and all that domination, you look at the stats in terms of shots, and we have the same number of shots as Everton. That is the concern. With all that possession, all that dominance, which is, for me, it's great because that means teams don't really score a lot of goals against us, which is great. That is one thing that we suffered a lot over the years, conceding a bunch of goals against a lot of teams, 4s, 5s. These days, we never feel like anyone can score more than 2 goals against us. Not at all. But that dominance, it has to convert to creating chances and scoring those chances. It has to. And having the ball the whole game and just getting one goal and basically keeping it at 1-0, and then the other team comes in the second half and scores. That is why we've dropped, out of the 11 draws we've had, like 6 of them have been after we've taken the lead. And Man City, understandable. We were down to 10 men, but even Brighton, but you get my point. Even before we got the red card against Brighton in the first game, we should have had a second goal. Against Brighton away from home, we should have had a second goal in that game as well. All these draws that we keep on drawing, it's after we took the lead and we can't get a second goal. So I'm happy Andrea Bat was on the in the stadium to watch that, because we need serious business this coming transfer window. Attacking wise, we need serious business, because unfortunately we're coming from a season where Odegaard has had a terrible season. Saka is coming from an injury for 3 months, so he's not fit. I don't know if hopefully by the start of next one is going to be fully back fit. We've had a season where Martinelli has been up and down. We've had another season where Odegaard has been up and down. Not Odegaard, sorry, Trossard has been up and down. Another season where, Jesus has, turned up for a couple of games, and that season where Havertz has been good for 2 games, bad for 2 games, missed chances here and all that. So they're coming out of a season where can anyone go into next season with heads held high? I don't know, because last season, at the end of last season, yes, we didn't win the title, but you were like, okay, Trossard finished the season very well, you're scoring goals. Havertz finished the season very well, you're scoring goals. Saka looked lively. We were going to the next one knowing that, okay, 2 players didn't finish the season well, but this season, we don't have too many players who played well up front. Apart from Saka, and for him, he's been out for 3 months and he's not fit at the moment. So it's a massive problem. But in terms of the game, Sterling had a shot in the first minute. It was a good run from Ben White. Have missed those overlapping runs from him. Sterling had the ball. It was blocked, could have been a goal. And then he had a flurry of corners, like 3-4 corners in the space of 10 minutes. Declan Rice corners are magnificent, very, very good. Everton had a free kick. That was their closest to a goal in the first half. And then White was, making tackles, but he was losing the ball a lot. And then finally came our goal in transition. We did a lot of those. I've been seeing people saying Gyökeres is not going to work for us because we don't get a lot of space. What are you guys talking about? Like, yes, teams park the bus against us, but even today, how many shots dropped in the box? Trossard had a volley. Odegaard had a chance that he skied. Those half chances, I'm telling you, even the starting one that was blocked, that if it's Gyökeres, it's top corner and it's a goal. So those transitions that we had today, like a couple of them, especially that one that we scored from, if Gyökeres gets that one, he definitely scores as well. So that was the best move of the game, Sterling to Trossard, and very, very good finish from Trossard. That was it looks like he always stands up when you go away to Everton. That was a good finish to make it 1-0, and we needed that. I was hoping we'd try and get a second and then rest a couple of more players, but that's where the problem has come this season. We are not able to get a second goal at all. There was a through ball to Trossard. I think should have gone down. We'd have gotten a penalty from that. Pickford saved his shot. We should have gotten a penalty from that. Trossard should have gone down, but he kept it honest and tried to score, and it was saved. It remained 1-0 at halftime, and surprisingly, he made 2 changes at halftime. He didn't actually expect Saka to come on at halftime, but he did, alongside Martinelli for Nwaneri and Sterling. So how do you guys make of Sterling's performance today in that first half? Because yes, he got the assist, but there's a few times he was trying to get past the defender and it was not possible at all. Like, you could just tell he does not have the pace anymore and all that. So Yeah, I mean, that's a conversion now. No need talking about it. We know he's going to leave for Chelsea. He's even suspended for the Real Madrid game. So we're only going to see him for a few more games in the Premier League, and that's it. And then came the penalty. I think someone left the ball to bounce. Was it Kiwi and Lewis Kelly fouled the player? I think they were kind of, holding each other, both of them, but maybe Lewis Kelly held on to him longer, and they got the penalty. And the penalty that he scored, very easy. I did not know why Raya was jumping to his right side way before Ndiaye even took the penalty. So Raya was good at penalties because he saved, I think, Ben Rama's penalty. Was it last season? He's obviously helped us against FC Port in the penalty shootout. He saved the penalty against Atalanta this season. But the last couple, I think, against Pedro and this one, a bit shaky in terms of the jumping too early. But hey, again, as I always say, Raya, Saliba, those guys, our best players. They allowed a few mistakes here, and I think Raya has been probably the reason why we're even 11 points behind Liverpool and not like 17 or 18. And then Timber came on for Ben White. I think that was planned as well. Lewis Kelly had a very good run that got us a free kick in the game. Rice with a very, very good free kick that was saved. And before that, we had another free kick, Saka straight to the wall. Hey, that's not good from free kicks. I don't know why Rice doesn't take more of them. It's weird because, Odegaard, Saka, they take the corners. Saka's corners are magnificent. But every time like they take free kicks, it's not good. We've tried several players from free kicks. It just doesn't work. So we need a free kick taker as well. Let's hope whoever we sign in the summer can also take free kicks. Odegaard also came on for Jorginho. Tierney came on for Lewis Kelly. Tierney has definitely played way more games than expected him to play this season. So hopefully he can finish his Arsenal career, the trophy. We'll have to beat Real Madrid first, though. And then Trossard had that volley that was saved. I think it was a foul anyway. And then Martinelli also had a shot that was saved. Very, very good save from Pickford. So those are the chances that we had. But apart from that, nothing much really. A couple of corners at the end of the game, disappointing from Saka with the crosses. But that was it. 2-3 chances created. I mean, you don't expect to create too much against Everton. Many teams go there and draw. I mean, they've drawn with Liverpool, they've drawn with United, they've drawn with us, they've drawn with Chelsea, they've drawn with Man City. They're always going to pick up points against the big teams because of their defense. Their defense is very good, so you're going to have to really break them down. And any chances you get, you have to score. Unfortunately, we don't do that. So I'm really looking forward to the transfer window. But first, next up is the game that we are waiting for, the Real Madrid game. That is the big one. So in terms of the players that stood out today, or moments that stood out, I'd say Kiwi was okay, wasn't that bad. So he'll need to be really good against Real Madrid. Number 2, Ben White was a bit shaky today. He lost the ball 2 or 3 times. He gave away the ball. We can't do that against Vinicius. So if Kiwi is not playing, Ben White is going to play as a centre-back. But I think what is going to happen, I think Kiwi is going to start alongside Saliba. And then you're going to have to hope that Kiwi has a very good game. And then I think Timber will start on the right. I think Ben White will be on the bench. Partey was rested. That's great. He'll be able to play 90 minutes in midweek. Rice, I didn't want him to play 90 minutes today, but unfortunately, he can't make 10 subs. So Rice was on the bench. Rice had to play 90 minutes. And then Martinelli will definitely start. Up front, who will start though? Trossard played up front today, scored. Are we going to go with Trossard? Are we going to go with Merino up front? That is going to be very interesting. But my man of the match. Probably not the forward players. I think Merino's good. Rice was good. It could actually be. Could it actually be Kivio? That's interesting. I don't think anyone really completely stood out. So that's a poll I'm going to put on YouTube. So make sure wherever you're watching this, get on YouTube and vote for who your man of the match was. That's an interesting one. I'm going to put up like 3-4 nominees for the man of the match. But yeah, no one really stood out for me that much. But 1-1 draw, another disappointing Premier League day. Our focus turns to the Champions League. Let's hope we can turn up for that. And we've actually played decently in the Champions League this season. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.